Here's an explanation of why classes are being collapsed when students are moving online instead of just getting smaller. So first of all, you need to understand that Ontario funds staffing in classrooms based on a board-wide average of 24.5 students per class. That doesn't mean each class is going to have 24 or 25 students in it, although it could. If you can imagine this tiny school board here, there are 98 delicious chickpea students. And if you look at the math, you can see that Ontario would fund this school board for staffing for 4 classrooms, because 98 divided by 4 is 24.5. However, in many school boards, we have small special ed classes. And the one I teach is capped at 10 students. So then this has to happen. So in a regular year, in my school board, with the same funding that we have that staffs a classroom at an average of 24.5, in reality, our classes could look like this: 29, 29, and 30, plus my small special ed class. That still meets the funding and the average of 24.5 students. However, this is a COVID year, and we have about 20% of our students who have elected to learn online this year at the elementary level. I'm only talking about elementary here at this time. So that is 19.6 students in my school board, but I'm going to put 20 over there because I don't really want to chop a student in half. So now we have a problem. We are still funded for 4 classrooms. That's the amount of staff funding the government has, because they have increased it a very, very tiny amount, enough to provide, 1 teacher for every 16 or 20 schools. This board has a very small group, so they wouldn't get any teachers at all. But we need someone to teach that online class. And lucky for us, this teacher is immunocompromised and has volunteered to teach online because they can't teach in class. Great, we now have an online teacher. But we also have a classroom full of kids that don't have a teacher to teach them in school anymore, because we're still only funded for the same 4 teachers. We can't put them in the special ed class because it's capped at 10. So now this has to happen. This classroom gets closed. This one stays at 10 kids. These both have 34 students. Because in the end, Ontario is still only funded to staff those 4 classrooms, not 5. Our class average is still 24.5, but now we've had to close 1 physical classroom. That's happening all across school boards, all across Ontario, and that's why we need this government to step up and fund us for smaller classrooms.